Hello and welcome back to the Third Degree. Today we've got news. We are doing a news-ish
Well, a
episode.
bit slow on the uptake, but
Yeah,
we're going
it's
for
a bit-
a news.
Not quite, but it's news because it happened in the last 2 days, so that's as close as we can hope to get this done. And we are talking about the merger between Disney and Fox that has just been signed, just as in the last 2 days. Whatever. And we're just going to run through some stats and things with you and what it really means, in case you don't have a clue what's going on or what any of this means.
Because let's face it, I don't think Disney or Fox knew until yesterday.
No. To be fair, I didn't. I was just like, oh, okay, stuff's happening. So if there's anything you want to say about it, because you have looked into it more than I have, tell all the boys and girls about business deals.
The first thing I saw of it was always brilliant Ryan Reynolds on Instagram.
You've got it.
Deadpool on a school bus with a little Walt Disney Mickey Mouse Disneyland hat
Yeah.
on. Feels like the first day of pool. And that was when I thought, oh great, so something's happened. Try and find stuff on the internet, nothing. And then stuff started to appear about midday yesterday.
Okay, yeah.
So, I mean, you can look at all these articles here, 19 hours ago, 47 minutes ago, 1 day ago.
So we're not too behind.
We're not
on
too
the
far on it, no. No,
I'm
I mean,
proud of that.
this one, can I say that?
What, Screen Rant?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can say I don't know what I'm allowed to say or not. Screen Rant's article on this was up 47 minutes ago. and we're
Okay, that's
recording
fine.
now.
And they're normally they're never
And we
accurate,
put on the
but they're
ball,
always.
yeah. Well, I got one here from The Guardian as well, from a day ago.
Yeah.
But all they've got there is $71 billion. That was the deal that was sealed. That is a lot of money. They've got so much. That's £54 billion, British people.
Okay, there you
I don't
go.
know
You're
what
welcome.
is our audience. I'd love to know that. You should get the.
I don't know. We've
get
had
the stats up.
we haven't got enough views to really tell yet, but whatever.
Okay. They've got so much from this, not in terms of just Marvel or whatever. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah.
Because the future of that has been on
Yeah,
many people's minds for quite a while.
it's going to be the emphasis of the last half of the video. Probably is going to be on that. Yeah.
Yeah. But they've got The Simpsons. Disney now own The Simpsons.
Yeah.
They own Family Guy. They own God knows what else.
Tell you what's going to be really funny. You know, in the Simpsons movie when they're on the train at the end. I know we've spoken about the Simpsons movie twice in the history of this channel. We've only got 4 videos, but whatever. And they're on the train, and Bart puts a bra on his head, and he's like, "I'm the mascot of the evil corporation."
Will that be cut from
don't know.
future releases of The Simpsons movie? Crikey. Yeah, this has taken a long time to come through.
Oh yeah, it's been at least 12 months that people have been talking
Oh, and
about it.
yeah, and they were toying with it with around the same time as the Sony deal.
Yeah, I'm not
With
sure whether
Spider-Man.
that was actually in talks, but I think that was just what people expected. They were like, well, they've got Spider-Man. Well, they're doing something with Spider-Man. Are they going to do X-Men?
Try and get something else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reading this article, because I don't think no one can be as researched and as vocal in this apart from Disney and Fox. So I think it's really important that while we're recording this, that we're trying to find
Yeah.
as much news as we possibly
Yeah.
can, because we want to get this out there. We want people to know about it.
Yeah.
And you might not be looking for it if you're not quite aware of what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
This one. So Disney now own Titanic, and that sequel has been shot down many times, but
Oh yeah,
Disney are
there's a
probably
sequel
the
to
one
that.
studio that will get stuff going no matter what. How I Met Your Mother, Disney now own the rights to all that.
That's funny.
This article mentions. How ridiculous. Avatar, of course. That was a Fox property.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen with all those slated sequels to that?
What,
Five more, was it?
you mean the 5 sequels to that, like, $2 billion making film? They're going to be cranking those out in the next... They're just going to have all of them at once. Just...
Yeah.
It's like...
It might even be a TV show. They might do just a massive budget to fight Amazon's Lord of the Rings. They might do
Avatar,
a
the TV
huge
show.
budget
Oh, God.
Avatar TV series. That would give me enough time to explore all the different branches of the world that James Cameron was creating.
Yeah. To be fair, even if you just put in the profit from the last Avatar movie as part of the budget, you've done enough.
Yeah.
It's all good. You know, it's like Titanic. How much did Titanic make at the box office? It was like $3 billion, wasn't it? So they now own the 2 highest grossing movies of all time. IMDb movies, because I'm sure that one of the next few is Avengers. So it's not easy.
So Fox owned 30% shareholding of Hulu, the streaming service,
Right, yeah.
which Disney have now acquired. That 30%.
Okay.
Disney already owned 30%. They now own
The
60%
majority of Hulu.
of Hulu. What is the future there? If you've got a Hulu account and you're into your streaming on Hulu, what's going to happen there? Is that just going to be absorbed by Disney Plus?
That's exactly what I was about to say. And hopefully they just give you free access to it with your subscription. It's like if you're elsewhere in the world, this isn't going to make any sense to you. Just a warning. When Currys and PC World merged,
Yeah.
right, they both had their own websites, but they were both the same website.
Yeah.
If you go onto Hulu, are you just going to
Yeah.
go to Disney Plus?
Maybe.
That's the way I can see it going, because people are going to be like, they're going to be in a routine of going to Hulu if they need something, when, like they do. I don't have a Hulu account, so I don't know, but whatever. It's that kind of service. People are in a routine of going to it because they trust it and they like it. So if you just lead the link through to Disney Plus and give them the same account, it's all good in it. You may as well just leave it there and be done with.
Yeah. So what's going to happen to all these programs on Hulu, like Handmaid's Tale? You got here, Runaways.
Well, Marvel's Runaways.
Yeah, that's a Hulu thing. This is.
I mean, it's Hulu original, isn't it?
Yeah.
Runaways.
So what's the deal with that? That's something to watch. I think that will surprise us as to what happens there.
I wanted to find out what which of the highest grossing movies Disney now own. So that they can show exactly. Okay, so number one, Avatar, then Titanic, then Star Wars,
Episode 7.
Jurassic World, Avengers, Fast and Furious 7. I don't know who owns that. Then Avengers: Age of Ultron. They don't own Deathly Hallows Part 2. Then Frozen, and then Iron Man 3. So they own like half at least. Over half
so many
of the top 10 highest grossing movies of all time. There you go.
Jeez, that's frightening. And how this isn't illegal, I don't know.
Yeah.
How this isn't a monopoly on Hollywood.
They don't own a maximum of
totally
2.
Bizarre to me.
Yeah, so 2, maybe 3 of the highest grossing movies of all time are not owned by Disney.
Yeah.
11th is Minions. I didn't know that.
Minions.
That's really funny. That's
What
Illumination, isn't it? Which is, we said it's Disney, isn't it? Or is it DreamWorks?
Illumination is part of DreamWorks, I think.
Is it? No, they own it now. They bought it recently. DreamWorks did, I'm sure. I don't know. If you know that, let us know in the comments, because I know that was a big thing. Yeah, it was a big thing quite recently about that. So
going into the top 20 grossing films, 20 is the fourth Pirates of the Caribbean.
Which
19 is Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
18 is Pirates of the Caribbean 2.
Yeah. Dark Knight Rises they don't own.
No.
Transformers.
Don't think they own Transformers. Skyfall is an interesting entry there at number 15.
It's Warner Brothers own it.
Yeah, and there's Civil
War. Lord of the Rings they don't own, because that's Warner Brothers as well.
And then another Transformers movie.
Transformers movies gross loads, Jesus.
God knows why. Maybe Michael Bay just went to every opening. That's Paramount Transformers.
Jurassic Park is the 21st highest grossing movie, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But then it's Phantom Menace, so, what do we know?
Yeah.
Right, okay. That's enough for that. We've spent way too long on that. We spent a whole 4 minutes on that.
Getting this list up, just take a Google. I mean, that counts as a monopoly to me. They own most of the top 20 grossing films of all time.
At least 60% on that. If you guys want to have a look at this, then should we link this list in the description below? Yeah, we'll stick a link to the IMDb top 50 grossing movies of all time. You can go and have a look at that and just check it out for yourself. You can see what you think. Let us know what you think of the whole situation regarding the monopoly of film media entertainment type thing that Disney have now should be in breach of some law.
They've got to be,
sure that they were trying to work their way around, and legal stuff I'm not even going to touch on because I don't know it, I don't understand it, and it's boring. So
this is there's got to be some kind of legal thing here, because people are going to kick off. There's a prediction of about 4,000 jobs being cut at least, with Murdoch writing to employees 2 days before the takeover was finalised. So that's the start of this week, thanking them for all their hard work. Disney might just be about to sack off the entire Fox workforce.
Potentially, yeah. But the thing is,
which is horrendous. They don't need them, but that's horrible to say. And it's important to point out that that Fox hasn't just been completely absorbed by Disney.
No, they haven't.
The Fox Corporation now exists as an independent entity from the Walt Disney Company. Yes, they've just acquired 21st Century Fox and everything, every character and things associated to it. You're still going to get Fox News and Fox TV coming from the Fox Corporation.
Yeah, like the Fox Channel.
Yeah, the Fox Channel.
Yeah,
will come straight from there.
Which to put a point on that, because I know that some people were worried about this and how this situation resolves. No, Disney do not have the right to the TV broadcast of Batman. They do not own that because that was on the Fox Channel, not.
I didn't know anything
from
about that.
Disney, because they don't own the Fox Channel, so they don't own the broadcast rights to Batman. So don't worry about it.
And they've just acquired character rights, it seems, at the moment. So even then, Fox Channel didn't own the character rights to Batman. So there's no way that is a thing. Yeah. They've just got the broadcasting rights.
I know that there was a tangential worry for some people about that potential broadcasting situation, and what that could do to a lot of media. A sentence kind of fell flat on its face, but
it doesn't matter. Interesting point here. The Disney will absorb Fox Film and TV Studios, the FX networks, National Geographic, and the Indian TV giant Star India.
Okay. FX I don't mind them having because, again, FX was where Legion was, which is an XMen property. And so the broadcast rights of that,
National Geographic is a bizarre one.
I mean, it makes money.
It does. It does. And Disney do a lot of nature documentaries, big features. No one really knows about them.
Yeah.
But they are there.
Which means they can port them onto
the flamingos and whatever.
Yeah.
So that's where they're going to pour them to. They're going to have National Geographic films, so that'll make stakes in National Geographic monstrously huge.
Yeah.
I don't know much about.
I imagine they already are.
Yeah. I don't know anything about Star India apart from that it's an Indian TV giant.
Yeah. It just means that they've got more of a monopoly because that's a large area of entertainment.
It's a more diverse global monopoly now. This concerns me more. The acquisition of this concerns me in terms of their future. What is this going to mean? Because it's a clear monopoly of media. We've just gone on to let's look at TV shows. The top grossing TV shows of all time.
Can I say one thing that that makes me not worry about the whole monopoly situation that they've got is that it means that Disney might and their creative teams might be willing to take more risks with things because they are guaranteed a profit every time they make something, essentially now. So they can take more risks with like TV properties and shows that might be a little bit weird. Like the gamble that Fox took when they started putting out Legion.
Yeah.
It was such a gamble for them because it was just so weird and it clearly has quite a high budget. But when you take a risk on something that you can find passionate people for, and considering how many people Disney employ now, I imagine they probably can find passionate people amongst that group.
Oh, definitely.
So, yeah, I think it might be a good thing that they own such a monopoly on everything to do with entertainment, essentially. So we might get those risky plays that everybody wants them to take in terms of a lot of the properties that we like.
Disney already own ABC anyway, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, so lots of the highest grossing TV shows. ABC, NBC, there's a lot on here, and CBS are already a lot on here as well.
Those.
I don't know who owns CBS actually.
Magnum PI,
Friends, NBC, Seinfeld,
Cheers, yeah,
and MASH.
Are these just sitcoms that you're looking at?
No, most TV shows.
Most watched. I thought you were looking at money figures. I can't think of the word.
But clearly the most popular. I thought that was the best way to go about it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Don't know who owns. CBS just is owned by itself.
CBS Corporation. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't look like TV in general is going to be that affected by this.
Okay. Shall we get on from the worries and things and talk about something a little bit less, little bit more shallow? Shall we?
Can we put a little marker in the scrubber. So you can come in, if you want to come in here and hear about Marvel's future,
Yeah.
jump in here. We've done a lot about the business side of things and what has happened and what probably will happen
Yeah,
next.
I'll break it down in the description. Put a marker in the description so that we can put that in there. So you can, if you have just jumped to this section from the beginning, hello and welcome. Now we're going to talk. We've done the boring stuff that you probably don't care about if you've jumped to this bit, and we are going to talk about the big Marvel properties that Disney now own and potentially where it could go, some ideas that we've had for introducing them, which we spoke a little bit about in our recasting Wolverine video from recently. Go check that out if you want to watch that. It's quite funny. I thought it was quite a good one. I'm trying to take it a little bit less seriously with that one, so there you go. Do you want to start off, or do you want me to start off with...
You go for it. I talked quite a lot in the previous section about the business side of things and what's going to be affected there. So you take the lead on this section.
So, in that Wolverine video, we spoke about the ways that we thought Disney might introduce the mutants and the X-Men into the MCU and their series and their films and stuff. So, if you do want to see our thoughts on that in that setting, then go ahead over to that video. It is worth a watch. It's some interesting discussion in the back half of that video. It gets a little bit off the topic of Wolverine, but it's interesting nonetheless, so go and check that out. But the thing that I thought of, and I thought of this on the way home on the bus when Tom picked up that this was a good idea to do this video, and I was thinking about the way that Disney have handled some storylines and characters from the comics and adapted them into the films, and they're never carbon copies of the stories. There's always a twist in there. Like Civil War, it was like very different to the comic book. Infinity War, completely.
I think they
barely
had to
anything.
be there because the medium of comic or graphic novel is open to these multiple strands of story.
And there's so much continuity feeding into each thing but the way that they've done it is that they've chosen not to just fit whatever they can in and just make it as carbon copy as they can with the characters they've got. They've actually physically thought about the way that their continuity ties into the story. The storyline that I can see coming, and it ties in the stuff they want to do with Scarlet Witch being the first mutant and her series, and potential characters they might introduce, say Magneto.
It's almost a given.
Almost a given, yeah. But completely flip this on its head, and that is the story called House of M. This was an X-Men story, I want to say from the 80s, 90s?
2005.
2005, is it that right? What happens in this story? There is a big boiling down part, and it's when Marvel realised they had too many mutant characters. There was so much going on in terms of the X-Men, they needed to just clean the slate. Point near the end of the story, and this is what most of theirs have been leading towards. Like Infinity War, they kept the end, and with Civil War, they kept the splitting. So it was mainly the big points of the story that they kept. House of M ends, or, features Scarlet Witch in a situation where she says, using her reality warping powers that we discussed, no more mutants. And she essentially snaps so many mutants out of existence, and there's like 100 left. What if the origin of the vast majority of mutants in this is Scarlet Witch after Infinity War, say Vision doesn't come back, because that's probably not going to happen. She's lonely, she finds her dad, but maybe there's something that goes wrong, maybe he wants nothing to do with her, and she is like, she wants more people like her. And so she flips the switch on the House of M story, and she physically snaps mutants into existence, completely warps the reality that they live in. In a very emotional way, because she is unhinged at this point. And you set it up as though, maybe some of the elements come through, but with Avengers characters and her close characters like Captain America, well, he's not there, but, his team, because they've obviously spent a lot of time with her. The emotional position she's in at the end is like, she has no one. Her brother died ages ago, and she literally has nothing anymore. Everybody that she has ever felt close to has died, or has left, or has disowned her, or whatever. Like, she doesn't want to be lonely anymore, so she just snaps people that she can actually be with into existence, so that she doesn't have to feel like that again. Actually make Scarlet Witch a good character. Like, a very strong emotional character, because she was one of the emotional cruxes of Infinity War. That was her arc, is her coming to terms with the fact that she has to.
She's got to be the one to kill Vision.
Yeah. And if you want to torture a character, just keep pushing her. Just keep pushing her. You know, you've got to have that one character that the studio likes to just screw with over and over again. Why not make it her? And she's proved she can do it. It was her story in Infinity War, I thought, was like one of the stronger individual stories. So yeah, that's my thought. Do House of M, but in reverse.
No, okay. I can see they've got to try and find a way to introduce the mutants.
A few,
now.
yeah.
Some of them.
Yeah.
They've got to... I think that'll piss a lot of people off.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's going about it in the wrong way. I wonder if they'd rather do an alternate universe. Maybe the events of Endgame will create an alternate universe. If the
like we
theories of
discussed
time
in
travel are to be believed.
like we discussed in the Wolverine video. This wasn't what I think is going to happen, by the way. It was just another potential storyline to draw from and how it could tie in. Because we have already discussed the origins of mutants. I didn't want to bog it down by saying the same thing in 2 videos. Because we went over it quite extensively in that in that one.
You've got the question then that where have they been? You know, that's what we wondered about Captain Marvel coming into Infinity War, etc. And they fixed that. It was quite nicely done.
Okay.
Not that you've seen it.
No, I haven't seen it.
But those of you that have seen it that know
I
why
might have done by the
Captain
time
Marvel
this video comes out, by the way.
hasn't been around.
So don't hound me in the comments for that.
And I think that having that as a reason, that's something I have an issue with. How are they going to introduce the Fantastic Four? Because I think it's been proved enough already that an origin of the Fantastic Four is not the way to go about it.
Because their origin is boring. And
it's a bit formulaic.
Implausible and, formulaic.
And a lot of the origins in the Marvel Cinematic Universe already have been... Okay, so you got Thor, who's a god, an alien.
Yeah.
You got Hulk, or Bruce Banner, who tried to replicate the Captain America serum, which is fine. And you've got the Captain America serum, and that was refined to try and stop Hydra and the mistake from there. Fine. You've got Iron Man, who came into being to escape from a terrorist holding cave.
Yeah, it's the only one that's not entirely linked throughout everything else is Iron Man's origin. Because, like, Thor links in with the whole story because of, like, the Infinity Stones and the Tesseract and things like that.
Yeah, which is... I mean, it's another video, but rewatching the Iron Man films, the theory about the artificial
Infinity Stone,
does become quite plausible when you watch them back.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that would link them through. But the Fantastic Four origin is silly in relation.
Yeah.
They're in space. There's a phenomenon.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit with any other MCU origin so far.
No.
It's been scientific. It's been experimental.
Yeah.
And smart rich people. Smart rich. That's what you've got to be a superhero.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Yeah. No, it doesn't have... Like, you've got characters like The Thing who turns into a massive rock monster, but there isn't really a lot of stakes in their origin. You know, like Tony Stark, if he didn't figure out a way out of that cave, he would have died, or he hadn't been tortured, and just lots of other things.
Yeah.
But theirs is just kind of happens.
They're in space, they get exposed to something where they come back, and then they're superheroes.
Yeah.
It's implausible, it's not effective in any way whatsoever, and you don't really care about the characters.
Yeah. Just to interrupt this, I do actually like the Fantastic Four.
I love it.
As characters.
I think they're
and a story, but their origin is just...
I'm sure they're the oldest Marvel property.
No, they're Marvel's first family.
I'm sure they came before Spider-Man, though.
I think they did. Yeah, not very long before. But yeah, they were Marvel's first family. They were one of Stanley's golden children.
And it's just such a shame
Stanley
that
and Steve Ditko.
he didn't get to see them put on the screen in a decent enough way.
Yeah.
And I think that's just been let down from bad studio decisions.
Yeah.
Ill cast.
Bad writing.
Bad writing.
Very bad writing.
Direction wasn't so bad and production wasn't so bad.
No.
But you just need a solid story and follow on from Disney's example. Use an existing story to set them up. The origins have all been taken from the comic books.
Do you know any Fantastic Four stories? Because I sure don't.
I know them in Civil War.
Yeah, we've already done that.
But they obviously can't come into that unless they do Civil War Part 2 in the next phase and introduce them there.
Oh, God. I didn't like the first
I didn't mind it. It did the right thing. We've discussed it in the Marvel
Yeah.
one. It did the right things, but I
Yeah.
don't necessarily it went
I don't think they will.
about them in the right way.
Like, I think how...
No, but Captain Marvel plays a big part in the
In Civil
upcoming
War.
Captain Civil War 2, which is coming out later this year, I think.
Been out for like 3 years now, that is. Civil War 2. Yeah, it's what ruined Captain Marvel's reputation.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2016.
16.
Yeah.
I saw something the other day, so I don't know if they're putting another one out or something.
God, I hope not. But yeah, that's essentially Civil War 2 is what made so many comic book fans hate Captain Marvel, because she was just the worst. You know? It's not like how in Civil War Iron Man had a point. She doesn't have a point.
Yeah.
She's just a bitch in that story. Do that Civil War. I think,
Yeah.
for one, you probably won't have an Iron Man to make that claim.
Fingers crossed. I think
Yeah.
they need to get rid of
Because
both Captain America and Iron Man.
one of the things that Civil War was good for is that Iron Man had one of the sides, but he had the stance that Captain America had kind of in the first Civil War. He learned from his dickheadedness in the first one to then be have more of a moral standpoint and do the right thing within that.
Yeah.
So, you know, it doesn't really work in the MCU yet.
No, they could also just take tangents from the original Civil War story.
Yeah.
And implicate them a bit later on.
Yeah.
There's many ways that they could go about doing this, but I think a black and white origin is the wrong way to go about it.
Yeah. I think
But
just
they've got the
start
rights
off-
to the characters.
Yeah.
Let's see what they do with it.
I would say just start them off fully fledged.
Yeah.
The dynamic I want to see, but I'm not sure whether they would brand them as such, is the Future Foundation,
Yeah.
which is what they become after they're the Fantastic Four. When Reed
It's got
Richards and Sue
Spider-Man
Storm.
in it. And
Yes, Spider-Man is in it when Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, dies. Reed and Sue have 2 kids, Franklin and Valeria. Valeria is like super smart like Reed, and Franklin is like the most OP character ever. Like, Franklin Richards as a kid, you see him in a few stories. He sits in his cot and he makes little universes.
the hell.
He makes little universes and fills them with things, and then he'll just fizzle them away because he's played with them for a bit when he was a baby. And like
Creates universes and then just destroys them.
essentially, yeah. Or he'll just make a universe and then just close it up for a bit and then come back to it the next day when he wants to play with it again. Like, obviously not like
My
consciously.
first Lego.
Yeah.
He's got superhero Duplo.
Yeah, but there's when he comes back, he goes back in time as an adult. I don't remember the story, I just remember it happening. But he essentially bitch slaps Galactus and makes Galactus his herald, like the Galactus does to the Silver Surfer. So I think that dynamic of
God.
this you know, like in Incredibles 2,
Yeah.
when they're struggling to raise this.
The best Fantastic Four movie ever made.
Yeah, that's how you do a
Incredibles
Fantastic
2.
Four movie. They didn't bother with an origin in that either, so let's just point that out.
It didn't need to.
And them coping with this ridiculously powerful baby that they don't know how to handle, despite the fact that they are superheroes. That's essentially the dynamic with Franklin Richards, except that he is vastly more powerful than Jack. And I think that's a good dynamic to go for because it gives you a point of the story.
Totally agree with you. Yeah. We'll do a Fantastic Four video of it at some other point. Because I think it will come to fruition.
Yes, we can follow it up when they start announcing things about the Fantastic Four, which they will.
They will, we're certain of it. That's why we're mentioning it.
Yeah.
I think I was going to say something along the lines of, we've got this gap in MCU history between World War II and 1995. So Captain America, Captain Marvel.
Okay.
We don't know what goes on there.
Yeah.
That is where they could slot 60s
Which
Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
That's where they, if they're going to do it, that's where they could have their accident. They could be some of the first people into space to come and start, with NASA. That was the first people to the moon, 69. That's where that could happen. And then they could disappear just like Captain Marvel did. But they could disappear because something went so horribly wrong. They were like, no, we don't want to do this anymore. We're taking a step back.
Yeah. Either that,
Carry on doing what you're doing, but we don't want anything to do with it.
either that, or to keep them young when they're in like modern day. You have, say, they go into space, and one of the big things about the Fantastic Four is that they explore the negative zone, which is a dimension, and maybe they go into space and slip into the negative zone. It's actually kind of like
maybe Ant-Man finds them.
Fantastic Four Stick does that. They're in the negative zone.
Yeah.
yeah, a dimension hopping character could find them.
We've got characters like that. Doctor Strange can do it. Ant-Man can do it. We're
Yeah.
assuming that the Wasp can also do it.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel can jump dimensions.
Yeah, we see those quantum realm suits in
the Endgame
yeah.
trailer. Yeah.
which we assume they're going to be using to enter the quantum realm and go back in time.
We don't know what's going to
Yeah,
happen there.
but whatever.
I don't think we can predict
It
that.
looks like a dimensional thing is going to be going on to
Something.
change something within reality.
Yeah.
But that kind of origin...
Should we wrap this up by saying that Disney are recasting every X-Men character, etc., apart from Deadpool? They are keeping Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool.
Yes, they have to.
Is the latest bit of news. Well, because he's the highest grossing. His two films have made $1.6 billion combined.
Yeah.
But he doesn't fit in with the Disney aesthetic. That is, as he's called, the Mert with the mouth.
Yeah.
Where can they put Deadpool that it will still be Deadpool?
They might just run it under a different studio. But the thing is, they'll do the whole...
I don't think they'll team him up with anybody. He'll be solo because he doesn't fit with anybody else.
I can see them doing like they did with Once Upon a Deadpool, where they did the whole thing but PG-13'd it.
Yeah.
I think that was intentional.
I wasn't a fan.
I didn't see it.
The thing
but...
I enjoyed about the Deadpool films was that he wasn't afraid to say stuff.
Yeah.
Like having Josh Brolin and making a Thanos joke.
Yeah, well, you can still do that. It's just not...
I think it should be...
You can't have any, blowing people through the head and having like a massive hole in his wrist and stuff.
Yeah. He needs to be the jumping off point. So everything that the MCU can and can't do,
yeah,
he just has to reference and have cameos. So maybe Captain America can be in one film for 5 minutes or something, and Iron Man can come and be in it in another. Something like that, where he can just bounce off and they can let off some steam and let more people feel.
Again, the creative risks that I was talking about with their...
Take a risk, and it doesn't have to, as long as it just sort of fits alongside it. We don't care that he's not going to be in any team up movies. Let's say that.
Yeah, like I'd love to see him just like even just like things that are vaguely referential to the rest of the MCU. Like I want to see him, like maybe he's getting beaten by some big dude, and he picks up a bin lid and he gets up and it plays the Captain America march, like dun 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 dun. He's just standing there, and it's like really sort of ironic and
picking up. Oh no, the hammer doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, that's a shame. That would have been fun.
Like the bin lid, like that kid has at the end of Captain America 1. It's like he's standing tall like that. That would be cool.
Yeah,
that kind of referential thing. A Deadpool TV show.
Yeah.
On, like we were on about a please tell me that's still recording.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. We were on about in the Wolverine video, again, go check that out. Wolverine TV show, because they can go R-rated, they can go heavy on it.
Yeah.
Deadpool could do as well, but then he can also team up with Wolverine every now and then. It's like Moon Knight, Daredevil again.
Yeah.
Ghost Rider. I would love to see an R-rated Ghost Rider series on Disney Plus.
That'd be great.
That'd be awesome. It's not with Nicolas Cage.
Deadpool shooting Teddy Roosevelt.
Just save it and send it me, and I'll just... Right. Anyway, we've got off track. This has been way too long. I didn't want these to be this long anymore.
Sorry. Bye.
Yeah.
We'll go now.
Yeah, we'll cut this off abruptly. If you did like this, then go down there, like it. Let us know your thoughts on anything that we've mentioned in this video.
Check out the Wolverine one, because
the Wolverine one is good. Yeah, go and watch that. And subscribe for more videos just like this one in the future. Hopefully we can get some more news to you soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see you next time.